So guys, set 1 meta is officially coming to an end in Cardfight Vanguard Zero Global, and maybe before it ends we try and spice it up a little bit. Let's get started. Oh, what's going on everybody? It's your boy TrueChampionSteven, and we are back with another Vanguard Zero video for you guys, and today we have a very special video. I'm going to be doing my first ever Cardfight Vanguard Zero challenge video. And it's a very special one. I think this kind of challenge is called a popper series or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it double rares and lower. And basically, I'm only allowed to use double rares and lower in today's video. But I'll get more in depth into what the rules are later on. But I do want to kind of give you guys a quick little introduction as to what this kind of video series will entail. I originally planned for this series to be like 3 different videos actually, where I do double rares only, and then I do rares and lower, and then I do commons only, which will be crazy. But obviously for set 1 ending tomorrow, I don't have enough time to make all those videos for you guys. So we're just going to do a quick little intro episode 1 kind of type deal. I do plan on making this a regular series as long as I'm playing Cardfight Vanguard Zero. And when new sets come out, we're going to redo the 3 episodes. So basically once set 2 and set 3 come out, I'm going to be making it then, and then I'll do, you know, double rares only, and then maybe a couple days later, a week later, boom, rares only, and then a week later, boom, commons only. That sounds like a really fun series for me to do here on the channel. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We'll see, obviously, we'll kind of get to test the waters today and see how easy / hard this kind of series is going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing how challenging this might be in terms of difficulty, and in terms of like even like possible. Like, is it even possible to win with commons only? I can't wait till we shoot that video, but that'll be when the real challenge starts. But today we're gonna get a nice little warm up with double rares only, and I have a pretty good idea of what deck I want to build already, but I'll get more into that once we get into the actual rules for this video. So anyway guys, that'll be today's video. I'm going to explain more in depth later on about what it's going to be about, but if you guys are kind of hyped for this and you guys want me to do more series like this in the future, be sure to let me know that by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It really does help me out in knowing what you guys like to see on this channel, and we're getting really close to reaching 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I have a really fun plan for when we do that, so let's hope we do it sooner rather than later, huh? Also, I do go live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday over on Twitch, and I do all kinds of Pokemon Let's Plays and chill Vanguard Zero streams where we are basically just chatting and playing games. So if you guys ever have any questions, I'm always free to answer them there live and in person, but don't forget to leave them down in the comments below. Also, I have a very special announcement to make. This Friday, aka tomorrow for you guys, I'm doing a very special YouTube live stream. I repeat, YouTube live stream, first ever YouTube live stream actually, and I'm gonna be doing a very special pack openings kind of live stream that'll be turned into a video afterwards here for the new sets that are coming out, and I plan on opening a bunch of packs here on the channel. And then immediately after said pack opening video / live stream, we're gonna take the party over to Twitch, where I plan on doing 6+ hours of playtesting, deck building, and ranked fights in the brand new meta. So it should be a super hype day of streaming, both here and over on Twitch. So definitely be sure that you guys are subscribed so that way you guys get the notification, or just come in whenever you're ready. 12 p.m. PST will be the start time. But anyway guys, with all those announcements and talks out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the actual rules for this challenge. All right guys, the rules for this challenge are simple. I'm allowed to pick any single clan I want to construct the deck out of, but the deck must include whatever rarity I specify and lower. For this video, it's double rares and lower. In order for this challenge to be considered a success, I must achieve at least 1 legend rank ladder match win with the deck that I build. And no, VP farmers don't count. I wish. So I'll be making 3 attempts in this video. If at least one of them is a victory, it'll be considered a success. I will obviously play all 3 games, and if we can get 3 wins, then it's a monster of a success. Also, now is an important time to note that I do plan on doing this series more in the future. I actually plan on making the series harder as we go along as well. So first episode is going to be double rares and lower. Next episode will probably be rares and lower, and so on and so forth. And then I will repeat the cycle every single time a new set comes out. I know since set 1 is ending right now, we're only going to get 1 episode for double rares and lower. But you know what? It's a nice little intro video to the series and gives me like a nice little warm up before we get to the actual harder version of it when more and more cards come out like MLB and Dota. I'm already dreading having to maybe plan for that in the future, but it should be exciting nonetheless. And you guys, I think that's it for all the rules I need to go through. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to leave them down in the comments below. I will be sure to answer them. But without further ado, let's get to the fun part, deck building. All right, guys, I guess it goes without saying the best deck to use for this challenge is... No, I'm just kidding. We're using a Royal Paladin deck today, boys. Ha! Tricked you. That's right, guys. We're not using Nova Grappler. Yes, I'm aware that the Gold Brutal deck is the best budget deck that exists in Cardfight Vanguard Zero right now. But what kind of challenge would it be if I just picked the deck that I know can get to like Legend 50 with like 0 triple rares in it? That is stupid. Let's go ahead and pick a deck that maybe not a lot of people know is actually a probably really good budget deck. And I'll explain why I'm choosing Royal Paladin once we show off the deck list. So let's check out this deck list here. All right, guys, here it is. It's a pretty standard kind of beat sticky, 9-draw, Paladin good stuff build, but there's no Gancelots. There's no Soul Saver Dragons, and there's no King of Knights Alfred, and there's no Barkle. First of all, let's get this out of the way. I hate Barkle. I think Liberal Gall, the Great Searcher, is a much better card in any kind of Royal Paladin deck, especially the Gancelot version, because you can search for Gancelot and then get an Interceptor / Pretty Heal trigger back in your deck. So I really do like Liberal Gall a lot. In this deck, he's really just here for consistency, because we do have a lot of different grade 3s that we kind of do want to ride, like Bridget, Alfred Early, and occasionally Lohengrin, but we'll get to that once we get the actual grade 3s. Really quickly though, I want to just state why I think this deck will be actually better for this challenge, because what I see this challenge actually being isn't can I win, is the deck good? More so it's like can the deck of the clan that I pick still achieve the same thing that it would regardless of the triple rares? Or better yet, is the deck that I'm picking for this challenge actually improved by triple rares? Do we need to play triple rares to make this deck better? I think it goes without saying that if you added Ashura Kaisers and Brutal Jacks to the Gold Rule Tile deck, the deck does become better. No questions asked. Is it still considered good enough to be on Legend even without the triple rares? Of course, but it does become better. I want to see if Royal Paladin actually becomes better with cards like King of Knights Alfred, Soul Saver Dragon, and Gancelot. The only card that I really see adding an improvement to the deck is Gancelot, and the only reason why is because he adds some grade 2 consistency as well as extra triggers, which is undeniably good, but it doesn't really make the whole strategy of the deck any different. Like the good stuff Paladins or vanilla Paladins deck is still just really solid. I talked about it a lot during the team tournament overview, and honestly, I don't really see a need for Gancelot other than just maybe recycling triggers and getting Blaster Blades. Obviously, once MLB comes out later, he's a must-have, but he doesn't really do anything for the overall strategy of this deck. It's still just beat sticks and consistency. Cards like Soul Saver Dragon is just a different deck, and I feel like doesn't really add to anything other than just being a big, push turn or two. It's really powerful, but is it really necessary? And then finally, I've said time and time again how much I hate King of Knights Alfred. I think it's just a bad card and requires way too much from the actual user to achieve anything worthwhile. So I'm not even going to mention why I don't think he matters. So you know what? For this kind of challenge, I really think Royal Paladin is the best deck to pick because it does the same thing that it always does. It just makes consistent columns and then beats face. And with cards like Palamedes and Alfred Early being a double rare, you have your consistency engine and your advantage engine right here. All you need is 2 cards and boom, 22k column or 21k column, and then all you need is 1 card and a card in soul, and then boom, you're good to go. I will say not having Gancelot might make it hard to ride this boy Blaster Blade, but you know what? I'm pretty lucky. I'm sure I'll draw him enough times. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, I don't think there's anything else I need to explain about the deck. I will mention this really quick, that Lohengrin, I think, is a really good budget card to have in Royals right now. I learned, I actually gained a lot of appreciation for this card through testing with my boy Eric when we were building his Soul Saver Dragon list for the tournament, and honestly, this card's really good. It kind of does provide, a backup strategy for the deck, as well as a really cool threatening rearguard turn. If I ever do get, 2 Lohengrin in play, I have 1 on rearguard, 1 on Vanguard, I have enough cards in Soul to achieve the Mega Blast. It could just be a nice little cheeky thing that I can do to my opponent, because the only card that counterblasts in the entire deck are Hakane and Blaster Blade, so, I could really see myself not ever using any of their skills, so it should be pretty exciting. But guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the first game of this challenge. All right, guys, here we go. It looks like we got an actual game this time. I've already fought some VP farmers here. They obviously don't count for the challenge, but it's nice to get the feeling of winning with this deck at least. So maybe we can even get a rank up in this video. That'd be pretty sick. Let's see. So I feel okay returning grade 3s because, we do have Liberal Gall, and I don't really want to... I'd actually rather return Palamedes than Lohengrin, because Lohengrin's a much better Vanguard than Palamedes, and this hand's amazing. I would love 1 more grade 1, and we are going first. It looks like we are fighting against a legit Kamui. Awesome. Okay, good. Another grade 3. Always nice. And we draw a heal. That feels bad, man. It's fine, though. We're going to ride Marin here and see what our opponent wants to do. Now, I do think that with this deck, maybe stands would be better than 9 draw. I do like running stands in good stuff Paladins or vanilla Paladins. However, I didn't know what the best card to make the stands were. I didn't want to make them Palamedes, and frankly, I also didn't want to be too risky in the best of 1 format of ranked fight, so I wanted just to, be as consistent as possible. I'm already using, a weaker deck. Why bother lowering our consistency as well? All right, so our opponents are going to ride Claydol. That's a big, that's whatever, I guess, and he's going to attack us. That's fine. Ooh, nice. He checked the heal. So now we're even on the heal front. Hopefully we can just see more of those go away. I would love a top deck of... Honestly, Hikane could be really nice, like in the mid stages of the game right now. Ooh, there's a draw trigger. Feels good. So look, guys, 9 draws is so good. And there's an assault. Ooh, baby. Also, guys, I've learned through my playing with Royal Paladins in general, whenever you see an assault in your hand during Mulligan, never roll it away. Even if you have like 4 grade ones, always keep it. Even if you have 2 of them, keep both of them, because you really just need as many of those as you can get. We have our ideal ride of Blaster Blade. You know what? I don't think I've ever ridden Blaster Blade since the first video, so I'm really excited to that. Ooh, yeah, good animation, good animation. Let's see, how aggressive do I want to be against this guy? You know what? I feel no reason not to just commit this Gallatin and then call nothing else, because I feel like calling anything else or anything extra is going to be too much overextension. And there's another heal trigger gone from my opponent. Now, obviously, I do need to hit a trigger in order to hit, but you know what? I'm fine with just dealing 1 damage and seeing 2 heals go away. That's a feels good, man. That's a really feels good, man. There goes the Hikane I was talking about that I wanted. That's a feels bad. See, look. So it's moments like this where like cards like Ganslot are super nice, because if I want that Hikane, I could return a Ganslot from my hand to my deck and shuffle my deck, and also put a heal trigger back and thin the deck out of a non-trigger. It's such a good card. I wish I was playing Ganslot right now. I do own 4, which I'm like, oh, I wish I had it in my deck right now. But you know, it's fine. We will manage just fine. Actually, you know what? Realizing that my opponent broke Kira, maybe it's a good thing that I didn't push him to 2 damage, because now he won't get to draw. Also, that Transriser, unless he boosts, there it is. I should wait before I speak. I think obviously the best ride here is going to be Alfred early. I get a 3+1, plus I can retire one of my opponent's rear guards, so it's just like a nice little swing for ourselves. Honestly, guys, I don't see myself using Libergall this game at all. I'm totally flooded with grade 3s right now, and just being able just to get that consistent 14k boost, 14k attack is going to be super nice, especially once I ride Lohengrin, and then I can use the effect of him to get 16k columns. So if my opponent does decide to ride a Shurikaiser, I'll be able to hit good numbers against it, which is nice. There's a draw trigger. Good. Losing that assault hurts, and then there's another Lohengrin. I might reride that bad boy, or call it as a rearguard late game. You never know. You never know. Drop return. There's a Marin. Okay, I'm totally fine on boosters this game, so that's amazing. Perfect boosters. Let's go ahead and ride. Let's see. I want to ride Alfred early, obviously. The boy sitting on his sword. Let's go ahead and call Blaster Blade here. I will choose to activate Blaster Blade's effect and retire King of Sword. I wish I had another grade 2 in my hand. That'd be super nice right about now. But you know what? It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and call Lake Maiden Leanne. And then I will call Brigetti Spaghetti. And then I will swing at my opponent's rear guard using Bridget. Now, it's moments like this where obviously cards like stand triggers are really nice. However, I will say that my opponent will probably get a damage trigger or something, and I won't be able to hit the 2 damage anyway. But it's still nice to think like, hey, if I had a stand trigger, that'd be really great. Okay, so that's 3 PGs that we don't have access to, guys. So we're only gonna have maximum 2 this whole game. So we really need to make sure that we prioritize having as many intercepts as possible, because that'll be the best way for us to kind of defend against our opponent's onslaught. Our opponent's now at 3 damage. They can unleash whatever kind of hell they want to now with the Nova Grappa deck. Depends. It really does depend on what, grade 3 they choose to ride, but I feel like we're in a very good position. If they ride a Shurikaiser, I can always ride Lohengrin and then get a really good, consistent Vanguard column against that card, even if they decide to get a defensive trigger, or sorry, if they decide not to get one. And then, of course, they ride their 3rd heal trigger, and it's Lionheat, who honestly isn't really the best Vanguard. And there's their 4th heal trigger, guys. That's official. All 4 heals gone for my opponent, all in the hand or useless. That's really good to see, guys. Really good to see. My opponent will get the guaranteed restand if they choose to. I don't think they'll... I mean, maybe they will. I don't know. Because, like, sniping the rear guard's good, but they have 0 access to heal triggers now. So, like, they need to be careful with how much damage they just choose to take from us. So I'm really excited to see what happens here, actually. I'm really glad I actually made that really aggressive Blaster Blade push last turn, because if I didn't, we wouldn't have our opponent at 3 damage, which is going to be a really good turn for us this turn, because then we can push them to 5. I will say, though, if we don't heal on this following turn, it might be a little sketchy for us going back into my opponent's turn. Maybe we can top deck an assault here. That'd be pretty sweet. That would definitely allow us, I think, to survive the next turn, depending on what my opponent does. But let's just see what happens. All right, drop return. There's a Palamedes, which would be nice for us to hit good damage and good numbers. I'll be able to call this in front of Leanne and hit 20k. So we can push for potentially... I can't push for 3 damage this one. I can only push for the 2, but it's still fine. 2 guaranteed damage is better than no damage in my book. I might choose to attack the rear guard here to make my opponent commit more if they want to go for game, especially if I check a heal trigger this turn. That'd be super sweet. No access to any intercepts. The field's bad, but you know what we find? Can I get a heal trigger here? I can't get a draw trigger. Don't you dare draw that heal. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we might get a 6 damage heal, guys. You never know. Anything is possible with Vanguard. I wonder what the best choice here is. After seeing that draw trigger, guys, I really think the best choice is just to push for damage. We know my opponent cannot heal out of it, so I think at this point, sadly, our prayer is just to get a freaking heal trigger, and that'd be super sweet. If we don't get that heal trigger, I think this will be a rip for game 1. Honestly, though, I don't think we could have played this game any better than we actually did. Having, you know, a couple more intercepts here would have maybe helped us survive the following turn and take less damage. That's always a good thing. But really, I think this game went fine. We kind of just got some unlucky draws and didn't get any PGs and interceptors, like I said. But, you know, we'll see how the cookie crumbles right here. Who knows? We could still walk away with a cheesy 6 damage heal for our first game. That'd be a pretty sweet way to get our first win in this challenge. That'd be super awesome. All right, so it's our opponent's turn. He just swings with his rear guard. Makes sense. Choosing to swing with the Vanguard next, I guess makes sense. I don't really know. And then here comes the Battle Razor, boosting the line heat, I assume. Yep. And then he goes with the first drive check. Draw trigger, so that kind of guarantees my opponent the win unless we get double draw heal trigger, which is very possible. I mean, we've seen a lot of cards that aren't triggers to go to the bottom of the deck, and we still have 3 left, so we have a very good chance of seeing one. I think the odds are like 1 in 4 maybe at this point to see one. Nope, and no heal trigger, guys. So that's gonna be it for game 1, guys. Don't worry, there's still 2 attempts in this challenge. Maybe we can get a little bit luckier and get some more defensive cards. All right, guys, here we are for game 2. Obviously, some feels bad just happened in game 1. Some little unlucky breaks, but you know what? I don't think we can fault that to our deck. We just had no draw power in terms of getting our, and this hand's perfect. I'm keeping it, by the way. We just had like no draw power and no defensive power, so that's kind of what happened. But that same thing would have happened for the maxed out version of the deck as well. So I'm actually feeling really good here about our chances to actually complete this challenge. We were so close. We were 1 turn away from winning that game. Just a little bit more defense and we would have been able to get it. Now we're fighting against Grand Blue, which is actually a really tough matchup, I think, for Royals right now because we don't really have a good way to deal with intercepts in Royals right now. So not being able to just constantly kill their deal damage to them is actually really tough. I actually think I'm going to plan on doing I'm being a bit more aggressive this game if I can help it, because like I said, our late game offense against them is very much hindered because they do have the ability just to constantly have 2 intercepts in play at all times. And lacking stand triggers in this deck makes our offensive pressure a lot worse, that's for sure. But starting off strong, 1 damage. Nothing crazy, but should be pretty nice. Lacking like a really good, you know, Forerunner. That's like having a 5k Forerunner, guys, is seriously underappreciated because having Leon hit for 12 is actually really good because, you know, if my opponent wrote a 7k there and I had like a 7 or an 8k in my hand, I could have called it the rear guard and then swung for 12. And then if my opponent did not get a defensive, which he didn't here, I would be able to get 2 damage on turn 1. It really does add to some more aggressive plays, which I do like having the 5k. If I had a 5k, I would have used it, but all the starters for Royals are 4k, I believe, except for Stardust, which is just bad. Don't play that card. All right, so this is a Chappie turn 1, so my opponent will get to a... Ooh, he's going for that. So is he going to... I believe I have to be a grade 2, right? For the right chain? If your road grade 2... if your Vanguard is grade 2, write this card. If you rode from a grade 2, draw a card. Okay, so maybe he can use it. Can you use it? You can use it on turn 1, right? Wow, that's crazy. I thought there was a stipulation that I had to be a grade 2. Huh, I did not know that. Wow, look at this. My opponent's going turn 2. Spirit Exceed. Really strong. Wow. And he's playing crits too, so he can be super aggressive to us. I will say though, this is a big commitment to make right off the bat. I wish we went first. That would have made this a lot better for us. So I will say my opponent is very much capitalizing on his very, very good hand. Let's see what happens here. It could really go. I mean, I'm not sure, but it's not looking good. I'll tell you that much. Double Chappie is a pretty dangerous start for Grand Blue. Sheesh. First check, Samurai. Second check. No trigger. Okay, so that's good to see. This onslaught could be limited too to only 1 damage. Ooh, baby, it is. One, all that just for 1 damage, man. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Monka Giga. Okay, so let's see what we can make happen. I do have Blaster Blade in my hand, which is really nice. I do have double Palamedes, which is also really good. They both make each other 13k, which is really good against his Vanguard, because his Vanguard's 11k. There's a Marin too. Ooh, baby, we can be super aggressive in the next coming turns. I'm actually going to choose to just call my dudes pretty much this turn and do as much damage as I can. I'm going to call Gallatin. I'm going to call this boy. I'm gonna call Marin, and then I'm gonna. Is Liberal Gall a good card to play this turn? I think it is, but I'm not gonna be able to hit him if I do that. So I think it's best if I just do it this way. Plus, conserving the Counter Blast for potential Blaster Blades could be good. I'm gonna do it this way, just to see what we can possibly get. No trigger, that's fine. No trigger for my opponent would be super ideal. Like I said, guys, I wish. Oh, this is really not good because our biggest problem against Granblue is we can't really deal them damage in the late game because of all their intercepts. So I really would have liked to push them to 3 this turn, but it's okay. Triggers happen, triggers happen. If that's the only reason we lose, I'll still walk away pretty happy. But I don't know, man. Our board's looking pretty good, and what's really nice about Granblue right now is that they have no way to retire our units, so my boosters are always safe. He's actually not going to do anything, and just swings my rear guard. Wow, an entire turn without damage. He must be just sitting on like 4 PGs or something. Like, I don't even know what kind of hand he must have in order to do nothing else this turn. So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of nuts. I wish that would have been a crit trigger that he checked, because then it would have been completely wasted, which would have been super nice. Can I top deck Alfred early? I can't. I will actually choose to ride this. Reason being is that my opponent's Vanguard is a 11k, so being able to just use all my triggers that I can to actually hit it is super nice. I think the best course of action is actually to swing with Palamedes first. See if he doesn't get a trigger, because then only needs 1 trigger to hit him. Boom, okay, and then I can hit him, and then give the trigger to my Eagle Knight here, and then boom, there we go. So the power goes to Bridget by his own skill. So the power goes here, and Bridget will actually hit using its own skill. So bam, that was actually a really good top deck. Obviously, checking the heal would have been super nice. Maybe I should have attacked with Bridget first. Sheesh, that would have been super nice too. But we're going to push my opponent all the way to 4 damage this turn. No sign of a grade 2. Not even in his drop. So maybe rushing, maybe using his only chappies to kind of rush himself into the superior ride here, maybe wasn't the best move, because, well, now he has no access to Night Mist. And no Night Mist means no cards like Ghost Ship and no intercepts to be in play. So maybe he was a bit too early to the gun, because now, guys, it's 1 damage to 4. Sure, he has a lot of cards in hand, but like I've said before, time and time again on this channel, cards in hand in Zero is nowhere near as broken as it is in cards in hand in the real game. So I'm feeling really good about our offensive position right here, and it's just looking up and up and up. And next turn, I'll be able to potentially call a 21k column, which will be so nice once we push him to 5. Well, once we, if it doesn't heal this turn, of course. I have been known to jinx myself with that kind of stuff. So there's that. He's going to use this skill. It's probably superior, called Blue Blood, and then call Blue Blood over this thing. Have 2 intercepts. Really cool. Witch Doctor's a really good card because it can do stuff like this. My opponent's actually playing stands, crits, draws, and heal. So he's playing the rainbows. I assume it's 4-3-3-3. So he only has 2 crits left, 1 draw left, and 1 stand left. He's actually choosing to call Chappie, which will then let him put Night Mist back in the deck and drop zone, and then superior call. I actually really like this play. This guy knows his Granblue. He is doing a super amazing job of sequencing his plays in the correct order that gives him the most value possible, and I appreciate seeing that. This is definitely someone who's been dying to play Granblue again on this game, that's for sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing some good play from my opponent in response to all this pressure that I'm putting on him, basically. Let's see what he's got going on here. So this turn I will have to just go a rear guard van, but that's still good. Pushing him to 5 is fine, as long as he doesn't heal the following turn, because then he will basically get 2 more free turns of attacking me, which I don't want. I definitely do not want that. Okay. Now he's going to swing at my Vanguard. I assume he could swing rear guard here, but that'd be a pretty good play, honestly. But he doesn't. Okay. I would love this turn to have Alfred early, because Alfred early basically means an extra damage this turn out of nowhere, which would be super nice. So let's do what we can get. I might even use Liberal's effect to put him in my hand, just because I really want to see him that badly. I think I will actually use Liberal here, because the idea is that I'm going to use Bridget to attack a rear guard anyway, so I may as well use Liberal to make it a potential better grade 3 in the following turn. So yes, we do. Obviously, this does take a trigger out of my deck, but like I said, triggers are going to be less needed as the game goes on, because I'm just going to be attacking rear guards anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and call this Palamedes. I don't even want to waste the Palamedes. I'm just going to call it Bridget, and then swing at his Night Mist, and then swing 13 at his 11k, so that way I can actually hit it without a trigger. There's a draw trigger already, so that's pretty good. It doesn't really matter where this goes. I'm going to get 1 guaranteed damage no matter what. And hopefully my opponent can't heal it. Maybe he has like 1 or 2 monster strike in hand. Hopefully that's the case. Wouldn't it be like super busted if like Monster Frank worked like Gantz a lot and then went back to deck to search for a Child's Frank? That'd be so much better than what it actually is. But granted, it'd be less consistent with its actual skill. Oh, please draw a Monster Frank. That'd be so funny. Like, it's moments like that where I'm like, I wish I was actually talking to him, because then I could be like, did you draw? Because then I could be like, did you draw the heal? And the answer is always, yes, I did. Always. Draws into the heals is such a common thing in real life Vanguard. It's not even funny. It's not even funny, dude. All right, let's see what we got. Just a straight seed call. So no more crits this game. That's really good to see. And my opponent's just going hard with the aggression. I like to see it. I like to see it. So there's my last assault. Now we only have these 2 assault axes too, because we saw 1 drive check earlier. And I do have the PG, but if he has a stand trigger, that could be pretty bad. And there's the heal trigger, but he is only having grade 3s. I'm actually wondering why my opponent didn't activate Nightmare's skill at all. I would have at least called 1, but you know, I guess I'm not my opponent, so I guess I shouldn't judge it too badly. I think I'm gonna choose to stay on Bridget, because getting you know, a trigger here would allow us to hit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have how many triggers gone? We have 3, 7, 10 gone, so 3 left in deck. Not loving our chances here for that. I think I'm going to call Hakane just so. Yes, just so I can Spirit Call Toipagal from the deck and put it behind my Vanguard. So that way my Vanguard can guarantee hit. I don't want to have to hope for a trigger here to do any damage. And then I'm going to call over Bridget to get my Palamedes, so that way I can hit 21 guaranteed. So this way I can play around a heal trigger potentially. We've seen my opponent try to trick 2 Gust Jins, so we know he only has maximum 2 in his hand. So I want to make sure that if he has the 2, he uses them this turn, because if I don't, we will lose the game. Oh wow, already instantly. Okay, oh sorry. So no damage trigger. I thought for a second like he was at 5 damage. Stupid me. All right, so let's see. First check, draw trigger. Don't draw my last heal. Oh, I'm actually out of heals already. Never mind. I thought I had 1 more for some reason. But okay, so my opponent has the PG. There he is. There's the boyo. Does he have that last one? Or is this going to be the actual attack for the game? Oh, baby! Are we going to win our first ever double rare and under challenge? Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about, man! That's what I like to see. So, guys, that's officially the challenge 1. I'm still going to play 1 more game for you guys, because those first 2 games are pretty fast, I think. So, let's see if we can get a 2-1 record with this double rare and under Royal Paladin deck, dude. It's super hype, man. Alright guys, here we go, fighting against Lun using Kagero. Please do not be a VP farmer. I want this to be a really good and super hype game. Kagero v Royal Paladin, classic. Classic, classic. I have in mind to return all of these cards, but I'm going to choose to just do this. Can I get a Blaster Blade? No Blaster Blade! Oh boy. This is the moment where you're like, I wish I had Gancelot. I wish I had Gancelot. It's okay though. It's okay though. My avatar will find a way to get here, I promise. My avatar will find a way. Riding the Marin. Cool. I have gotten a PG in my hand every single game though, which is honestly super awesome. I have played against opponents who have drawn 0 PGs as Royal Paladin, and I just feel so bad for them sometimes, because I'm like, oh no, I'm playing Kagero. I search for mine all the time. All right, so there's the embodiment of armor. Barb, we got a game going. Yes, dude, I'm super happy, man. Oh, I've only fought 1 or 2 VP farmers today. That's a record for videos, man. Last time I tried to record a ranked fight, I fought like 6 of them, and I was like, ugh, I want to just get this video done already. Sheesh. All right, so that's a damage check. Can I get a Blaster Blade off this draw? Yes, come on, Blaster Blade, Blaster Blade. Oh, no Blaster Blade. All right, we need to see a Blaster Blade right now. Come on, do it. Yeah, baby, ride my avatar. Stand up, Blaster Blade. Oh, dude, that was the most hype draw I've ever seen. Play that animation, baby, play it. Oh, dude, and I'm gonna call Knight of Silence Galatine. Like I said, I want to be a bit more aggressive with this deck in the early game, especially against decks like this that have a much more powerful late game than mine. And no trigger, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get that magical 13. Ooh, baby. Guaranteed Toipagal feels nice. That Toipagal will never hit the drop zone, which is nice, for the damage I should say. So I have a guaranteed Akane in the following turn that I can easily use to respond to my opponent. So next turn I can ride Alfred early, call Blaster Blade, call Akane, get a booster, and have basically a full board for only 2 cards. Super awesome, dude. Ooh, is he going to use Tejas to snipe my Liberagal? That's a really kind of useless play, I think, but okay. If he wants to, he wants to. Dude, I could probably push my opponent to 4 damage on the next turn. That'd be super nice for us long term. Let's see what happens. I would love to get a I was like, I would love to get Palamedes. He's already in my hand, stupid. He's already in my hand. I'm silly. Calling Joka and Kimnara. Whoa, my opponent is being very aggressive. If I top deck Lohengrin, I might just choose to ride him to TBH. And he's attacking my rear guard? Interesting. I'm very intrigued by this kind of play here because I still have access to Hakane that I can just use to get a board still, and then I'll attack your rear guards and you lose some advantage, homie. I'm actually very intrigued by a play like this. Maybe he was hoping for a heal trigger to maybe balance out the board state, maybe? I don't know. I'm not 100% on that play right there, but you know what? I'm not gonna judge, I guess. No. I want to ride Alfred early. Thank you, game. Yes, I will activate your skill, Superior Call Blaster Blade. I will not activate Blaster Blade's skill, however, because I want to Superior Call using Hakane. And get myself a Toipagal. I think I'll choose to put the Toipagal behind this Blaster Blade column because it doesn't really matter where it goes. And I think my opponent wants to kill Blaster Blade more than anything else. So we're gonna battle here. Hakane will swing at Sutherland, and then my Vanguard will swing at his Vanguard. I could care less about this Kimnara column. Sure, he can kill me, but if he gets a trigger, I'll just swing at Kimnara anyway, so it's fine. I might choose to do it for sure anyway, just to protect the Toipagal. It all depends on whether he gets a trigger. He does get a heal trigger, which is feels bad, man. But now I can just kill Hakane, which does potentially preserve our Toipagal. Unless he rides a Goku, of course, which if he does, not the end of the world, but it's fine. I have a Lien plus a Palamedes in my hand, which will be a really good magic number against a 10k Vanguard like Goku. So it'll be fine. Also, this is SP Goku, dude. Look at that, like wind surfing underneath his thing. That's really cool. That's really cool. And there's the Kimnara. I can use his skill. I'm interested to see if he do another Kimnara, which is kind of crazy. Yep, he does get rid of Toipagal, which is frustrating, but we're forcing him to do it now. Using Joka, and oh, I just realized my opponent's grade lock. Dude, that's so crazy. That explains his play a bit more. He was being extra aggressive, so that way he can maybe make up for the fact that he's so behind. I like it, I like it. But that does mean that he's really behind, so I'll be able to push him for a lot of damage next turn, especially with only one intercept. And I have my Galantine too to instantly check that Nahalem, so that means I can go rear Van and boosted rear with Palamedes to have 3 fully powered attacks against my opponent's. Well, 2 fully powered attacks against my opponent's Vanguard, plus getting rid of a really good rear guard for him. And he reveals nothing cool, and I will be able to actually heal block him for the first damage, which will be very nice. I don't know what it is about people always healing on the first damage with me, but it really does happen a lot, I've noticed. There's another Alfred. I could ride this for the potential of Lohengrin late game, but I think he's more useful as a rear guard long term at this point in the game. So I'm just going to choose to call Lien, call Palamedes, and call Gallatin. Gallatin will swing at Nahalem. Dude, this could easily be another victory for us, especially if we get another PG pretty soon. I would love it. I would love a second PG. That'd be pretty awesome. Another Alpha. That's the, what is that? 6 triggers? 6 draw triggers gone? Okay, feels good, man. There's a draw trigger, and there's an SP freaking blockade. Are we finding some kind of max rarity deck over here? Sheesh, dude. Is this SP? No, it's not. I was like, what? All right, swing. 4 damage, baby. Feels good. 4 damage before he's even at grade 3. Ooh, this is a really good place to be for us right now. Especially if he runs out of grade 2. He's seen a lot, I think, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm excited to kind of see maybe how he chooses to kind of go about this. Obviously, he still has no grade 3, even though he's been filtering with Gojo. He actually, funny enough, would have actually drawn a grade 3 if he used Gojo at all the turn before when he went like super ham. There was honestly no reason for him not to, given everything that he did. So I'm surprised he didn't just like filter as soon as he could. That could be like a potential misplay for my opponent long term if he actually stays grade locked until the end of the game. And there's another assault. Is that 3 assaults gone? I think there's 1 in my deck on the bottom, so that's technically 3 assaults gone. So only 2 maximum. There's a Bridget. I will choose to ride Bridget here. The reason being is that if my opponent does ride like Overlord or something, I don't want to have to feel like I have to commit a Vanguard booster in order to hit. So now I can swing, and then swing his rear guard, and then swing with Palamedes. Him getting all these grade 2s though is actually preventing me from going for the game this turn, which honestly I could have done. And now I have no intercept. So there's like a non-zero chance here that my opponent just like goes super hard, draws the grade 3 and pushes for game. Because I think I have what, 2 heal triggers out of deck now? Yep. And I just drew one, so it's very possible that I could lose next turn depending on what he on how aggressive he can be. Let's find out what happens. There's a PG gun. I have to assume he has like at least 1 or 2 in hand, given the way that he's been trying to play here. Because like he's been discarding a lot of cards, and there's the Overlord, so I was right in riding Bridget. Now the real question is will he choose to use Overlord's skill and guarantee 3 attacks of damage? I will say he doesn't need to. Well, there's a rearguard Overlord, so he's definitely going to do it. And there's a Gojo. Okay, Gojo is not hitting us, so that needs to be a trigger. So it means if we get a damage, a defensive trigger, we will survive this turn, potentially. And we have 8, 9, 10 triggers out of deck, 3 left, and they're all sorry, we have 2 left. 2 of them are heal triggers, and 1 is a draw trigger. That will allow us to potentially live whatever attacks he goes for. Plus, we have plenty of cards in our hand to mount a really good offensive on the next turn and win the game. Then I think he has 2 heal triggers gone. 1. Ooh. He could definitely heal this turn as well, which is going to be very frustrating if he does, because he obviously has only 2 PGs in hand. Otherwise, he would have called an attacker for Gojo and guaranteed him some damage this turn. So we could easily lose this turn, which is crazy to think about, considering my opponent, he plays stands too, which is pretty crazy, considering my opponent was grade locked for like, what, 3 turns? Pretty crazy. Another stand trigger, double stand trigger. Oh my god, I can't believe he didn't play for it, considering he used Overlord already. But you know what, I'll take those. He also never gave any power to Gojo, which is very interesting. I guess because like he didn't think he'd get double trigger. I guess fair point, not to hope for the double trigger, but it's fine. It's fine. So we're very lucky there in the sense that my opponent didn't have enough to actually go super ham, and now we can mount a huge offensive and maybe even play around some heal triggers. Is it possible for us to play around heal triggers here? I don't know. I think the answer to that question is no, Stevo. All right, so let's go ahead and call Galatine, Leanne behind Galatine, and then call Bridget. I do think I need to play for a trigger here if I want to win, because getting it off of Bridget would be super good. We'd be able to hit and play around a potential heal, and we did not get it. So if that's a double PG in my opponent's hand, he will be able to win the game. I was being a bit risky there. I could have called the booster behind my Vanguard and then guaranteed the hit. The reason why I did it is because I wanted to play around the potential of a heal trigger, and needing a trigger to pass for Galatine would have been a much more feels bad man than just say drawing the trigger itself. Now again, we're not out of it though. We still have 2 heal triggers left in the deck, and there's a very good chance that they're on the top of our deck, because we've seen a lot of cards so far and none of them have been heal triggers, and my opponent could also heal very much as well. But if we get 1 heal trigger, I think the game could be ours. He's actually thinning his deck out of 1 more card, which is interesting, doing it this late in the game, because there's so many cards at the bottom of his deck that aren't triggers, so he kind of just like ruined his chances of checking one, which I think is interesting. So there's a draw trigger. That's not going to win him the game, or will it? It actually will, which is frustrating, because now he can hit over our defensive trigger if we check it. So that's very frustrating. But you never know. We can get double heal. Now, obviously, I'm less worried about this game, you know, losing it, because we've already accomplished our goal. But if we get a cheeky 6 damage heal here, that'd be pretty sick. Oh, we call final turn too. Wow, I can't believe he got it. That's such a BM thing to do. But you know what, guys? You know what? I'm still happy. We still accomplished our goal for this challenge. 1 victory on Legend Ranked Ladder. Super hype. And we had some good games, I think. That last game, I made a bit of a misplay. I could have easily called the Leanne behind the Vanguard, swung, and then if I got the trigger, I could have given it to my Galatine. But obviously, I'm still playing for a trigger anyway, so I may as well do it to where I play for a trigger and play around a potential heal trigger, because my opponent did have 3 left in my mind. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to kind of circumvent any potential stackiness on my opponent's side. All right, guys, now that the games are actually over, let's go ahead and do a quick little outro for this video and get on with our lives. All right, guys, we did it. We got the victory we needed in the double rare and lower challenge. I was super happy making this video, guys. It was honestly really fun building this deck and figuring out which clan was best. I actually toyed around building an OTT deck, actually, because cards like Apollon and Sakuya are actually really good. But I think I picked the best deck to play for this challenge. It honestly felt like I was just playing Good Stuff Paladins, like I always do. Whenever I want to test Royal Paladins, I play Good Stuff Paladins or Vanilla Paladins. And honestly, nothing really felt different. I just felt a little less lucky and a little less sacky, because obviously I couldn't return heal triggers to my deck. And I do think the lack of, you know, defensive power in the sense of being able to search for intercepts, did feel like it was missed. So Gancelot is probably definitely a card that all Royals decks should be playing, especially when MLB comes out. However, I think cards like King of Knights Alfred and Soul Saber Dragon are simply just win more cards. they don't actually make your deck any better, because the deck just felt like it was doing everything it wanted to do. It just wasn't really, it still is Royal Paladin, you know, it doesn't really draw cards, doesn't really gain advantage, and if you don't have cards like Esol just in your hand, you don't really have defensive power. So, you know, in that regard, I was still lacking. I definitely want to maybe toy around more with this list and play like 3 to 4 stand trigger. I think playing 3 to 4 stand trigger would have been actually super good against other decks, like that Kagero deck, you know, for example. I could have counter pushed and still dealt damage, you know. It felt like every turn I was just like attacking rear guards and not attacking Vanguard. So I think having stands is still really valuable, even on ranked for Royal Paladin right now. I've said before that I think the best trigger for Royal Paladin is stands and draws. I just wanted to go maximum consistency though and try and get some nice defensive power using the 9 draw, but I think I made a mistake there. And so if I were to do the challenge all over again, I would play stands. I think they would have let me win at least one of the games that I lost. But you know what? I'm still proud of us, guys. The first ever challenge video that I've done for Vanguard Zero is a success. I cannot wait to do more in the future. Like I said, guys, this series will be a regular series every single time a new set comes out. I plan on doing double rares and lower, and then commons only for the next couple sets. Hopefully we do them like 1 week after the other. It's gonna be super hype. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to show that love by leaving a like down below, and let me see some hype in the comments below for how well we did. If you guys guessed yes that we were going to accomplish this victory, I'll be sure to heart those comments and like them, because those are super awesome. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for me in this video. I had a really fun time making this challenge. Go ahead and try it for yourself. This list I think is really good. Like I said, play 3 to 4 stand trigger, and I think it'll be even better. Also, don't forget, guys, tomorrow, 12 p.m. PST, live here on YouTube with some pack openings for the new sets that are coming out. It's gonna be super amazing. And then playtesting later over on Twitch. It's gonna be really fun. But with all that being said, you guys, as always, I have been your true champion, Steven. Thank you so much for watching this video. Always gonna work hard, rest easy, and live well. And I will see you all next time. Peace!